From our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., it's KickFannie's Big Thinking with Akia Garnett, CEO for Brand Builder and creator of Tuesday Branding. Welcome to today's show. So, Akia, what's new?
Welcome to KickFannie's Big Thinking. This is Akia Garnett, your host, and I am so thrilled because this is the kickoff of this very new show, and it's under my platform, Tuesday Branding with Akia Garnett. I have partnered with KickFannie to bring this special show just to you, small business owners, because we're going to be talking to business owners who own larger companies and have shared so many experiences with each other and will now share experiences with you on how they did it, how they broke various ceilings in their own industries, in their own careers, and how you can learn from that and do the same thing in the business that you're running. Now, again, this is part of the Tuesday platform that I do. We start out every Tuesday morning with the Akia Garnett Show at 10 a.m. Eastern, and then we move right on to KickFannie's Big Thinking at 6 p.m., and then we move on to Twitter at 8 p.m. for My Brand Chat and 9:15 p.m. for iBrand Chat. Both of those are Twitter shows. You can find out about all of those things at AkiaGarnett.com, and you can listen straight to KickFannie's Big Thinking at KickFannie.com. Now, for this first show, we are going to spend time, me and Debra Chandler, as she's formerly known, who is the CEO of KickFannie. We're going to spend time talking to you about this show and why we've created it and what we expect to do through the show, coming straight to you from the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., where we are inside the Beltway, but we'll be breaking out of the Beltway too and moving toward other cities in the country that also have trends and great success stories to share throughout the season. Welcome to KickFannie's Big Thinking with Akia Garnett. Deb, how are you?
I am fantastic. I'm so excited about our launch, Akia.
Me as well, Deb. Thank you so much for joining me today, and thank you for the invitation to join the KickFannie platform. I'm excited because I love what you're doing with the KickFannie brand. Ever since I was introduced to it, I knew that it was going to be something magnanimous. It was going to be amazing. Thanks so much to Cynthia De Lorenzi, who is a good friend of mine and a brilliant-minded woman who knows how to create connections in the business world. Thanks again,
well,
Cynthia.
And that she did. She definitely connected us. And I have wanted to produce a show from D.C., but I really wanted a very smart, dynamic host, and I think I found one, Akia.
Oh, well, let's just wait. The jury's still out on that, But I'll do my best to sound smart.
Well, we definitely, I think that you and I think very much alike because we really wanted to blend business and politics. And as you said, step outside that beltway and see what the perspectives are of those business owners that are in different regions of the country and what's affecting them. But letting other business owners, small business owners that are trying to get to that, $5 million, $1 million, $5 million, $10 million, $25 million place, allowing them to hear how other companies succeeded in doing that.
Yeah, totally. And when we're first starting out in business and having been an entrepreneur and business owner for years now, I can tell you that the last thing that's on a business owner's mind when you're coming up with your idea is politics. The last thing on your mind is regulation. The last thing that's on your mind is the ceiling that's going to stop me from growing as big and great as I can be. But the larger we grow and the longer we've been in business, the more we learn about our environment. We learn about the politics that are ever present in the industries that we support. We learn about the laws that we must comply with, right? We even learn about our good friend, the IRS, who, certainly has a lot to say when we begin to really grow. And those are some of the things that, we want to be able to talk about, but also policy and what's happening in D.C. and how that affects not not only businesses that, say, for instance, are in the professional services world, but product servicing businesses, product-oriented businesses, manufacturing businesses, all sorts of businesses across industries that are affected by whatever may be taking place on Capitol Hill, or whatever may be taking place on Wall Street, or whatever may be taking place even on the headlines of various newspapers that can impact their ability to service their communities.
And you made a very good point, Akia, in the fact that as a business owner, every day you're thinking about pushing your product and growing your business, the idea that you had, and you don't always think about how even in growth periods, so let's say there's an economic boom and business is great and money's coming in the door from the left and the right and above and below, and everything's fantastic, but there are elements that affect, from a regulatory standpoint, how big you grow, how fast you grow, how you get your product delivered. And then you start running into some of those little, what I call wrenches.
Yeah, yeah.
And how do you overcome them? And then even more so, how do you keep growing and sustain and survive when there's an economic crisis? Because we go through these economic cycles where, we do have great periods of growth, but we also have periods when it's really scary.
Well, yeah. I mean, and look at different cities around the country right now and different regions around the country whose economies have been hit so hard. And, I mean, just think of, ones in particular, Detroit.
Well,
right?
Detroit is absolutely a perfect example of a city that is still struggling and trying to find its footing again. The state of California, I mean, there's just different pockets around the country that come back faster from an economic crisis like we've, entered out of or come out of.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm going to go as far as to say that Detroit would never find its footing again the way it found it when the automotive industry was huge, unless there is a relocation of new type of plants that are going to create energy saving and earth sustaining vehicles. So, and it's going to be good to be able to talk about some of those things. What do you do when the economy has a downturn that will not rebound? How do we, recycle all of that greatness, but create and cast forward an opportunity to move in a different direction and sometimes move to a different location? So, those are some of the things that I know we're going to spend time talking about on this show. We're going to spend time talking with folks who are coming out with new things on a grander scale and how those things are going to create impact and change, but also how smaller business owners can learn from those massive types of rollouts. And I really am looking forward to sharing and spending time with some of the bigger guys in the financial services industry, because one of the major challenges that small business owners have is cash flow challenges. How can I get my
great, not to step on you, which I just did. Sorry about that. We've got some great people probably in the banking world that will be more than happy to step up and sit in the hot seat with us, and some guys out of New York with some of the venture capitalist firms, also here in D.C.
Yep.
But I want to pull not only from our DC circle, because we have some amazing companies here, and certainly we're going to hear from them, but we also want to hear from outside this beltway and how things are being approached, because I think that innovation is out there. It is alive. It is kicking. Steve Case just launched The Rise of the Rest, where he's going out to different cities and doing big pitch campaigns with up-and-coming companies. And I think that is so exciting that he's out there looking for companies that are going to launch and grow big in this nation and create jobs and stabilize our economy.
Yeah, precisely. And I think that it's going to be those sorts of things, those sorts of voices that will help pioneer the new movement that the states is being challenged to create and move forward with. This is not a situation, in my mind, when it comes to the national economy, it's not a situation where there's going to be a one fix. There's not
Oh,
a
no.
fell swoop solution. There's not a fell swoop solution. It's going to require change and challenge and moving against the status quo on multiple levels, at multiple layers, at multiple angles. And it's just going to require a lot of dynamic movement from many different parts of the economy in order for us to not only grow, but to sustain a healthy economy the way that it should be. And, I just love looking forward to the new jobs report every time it comes out.
Absolutely, because it's good to see that. But we also, you and I both know, and our listeners know, that, there's a lot of people out there that don't have jobs that have fallen off that jobs report.
Yep.
And those are the things that we need to look at and turn around as, certainly as a country, as business people in the country. We are the people that help guide this economy.
Yes.
And it's amazing to me that we still, after all these years, because this is what America's about, we've got this burning little fire in us that grows and grows and grows, and we're not going to be put down as a country. We're not going to be put down as business people. We are dynamic. We have, the thought process to innovate and to grow and to make good things happen. And it's like when you think you've got us down, no, we're going to come back,
Well, yeah, that's the American way. That's the American way. We certainly don't like to be number two at anything. And number two is no fun. Second place is no fun, not for America. And so we must continue working hard and never resting on our laurels, and trusting that the good-hearted spirit of our nation, that rests within every American that is out there working and trying to move toward their own dream in life, is ever present and will be part of the sustaining of our economy, and will keep us as leaders of the free world.
Well, and I think the exciting thing about this for you and for me too, and this is what drives us to do what we do at Kia, is we get excited about businesses growing, about businesses starting and growing and watching this develop and happen for these business owners and for their employees.
Yeah, I get terribly excited. I'm going to tell you that just being in the nation's capital, first of all, being a native Washingtonian and watching all the change that has taken place over the decades, D.C. looks a lot different than what it looked like when I was growing up. I was just driving through the 8th Street corridor in Northeast, which is just off of Capitol Hill, and I'm going to tell you that all of the stimulation that's taking place on that corridor, with new stores popping up left and right. There's a new trolley that's coming back. Well, this trolley had been here for years and years and finally went away. It was here, and it was great because it was running on electricity, and got rid of it because we wanted to put more cars on the road. How about that? And now we've put it back in place because it's going to be energy sustaining. So we live and we learn, and we do what we used to do because it made more sense then. But my point is that seeing all of these new stores and all of this new commerce opportunity popping up in the community is beautiful. I just absolutely love it. There is not enough stores on that block, and there are like at least 200 new stores. I'm going to say that the 202nd store to come will still not be enough. Every place that there is an opportunity to put to put a merchant in business, to see a new entrepreneur open up or put the open sign on its door for the first time is a great thing for the American economy. I'm excited about it, and I look forward to talking about things like that as well, that bring new birth to cities and give people in those cities a reason to want to work hard so they can go and spend their money and save some of it, of course, but go and spend their money and support business owners. So this is just going to be an amazing experience with KickFannie and Big Thinking. It's what I like to do. I love to think big. I love to think about how and connect businesses across the country to one another, and also connect concepts and show ways that we can add value and borrow value from those who have already done some of the thinking for us. So again, I want to thank you for the invitation. I'm excited about the partnership. I'm excited for what we've got coming up this season. I know we've got some great guests who are going to add some tremendous value and experience to the conversations.
We have one of the largest electrical contractors, residential contractors, second generation company, coming up actually next week to talk to us. I'm not going to mention names yet. We'll release here in a day or two.
Yeah.
But they've grown tremendously over the years.
Yeah.
And definitely weathered the economic storm in the residential side of things. Hoping, got fingers crossed, that we've got this dynamic soda company out of California that everybody will recognize the name, because these guys are going head-to-head with the Pepsis and the Coca-Colas of the world. And it's exciting to see that. We've got a fashion designer, and a lot of really great CEOs and operations people that are going to be talking to us over the next few weeks.
Yeah, and just being able to talk to soda company, owners and operators is one thing, and it's great, but we also talk about the evolution of the soft drinks industry, right? And we talk about how healthy drinks and healthy living and sustainability has become such a central part of the food and beverage industry, to the point that we've had real competition rise up against Coca-Cola and Pepsi, who have dominated the market for decades.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It's very interesting.
And I think that it's kind of the crux of the change that we're seeing across the nation when it comes to the growth of companies. Is they're being much more vigilant when it comes to, the kind of socioeconomics and eco factors.
Yes.
And just, they're looking at everything. And I think we're going to find it extremely interesting in how they give back to their communities. Because, I'm very big about giving back and volunteering and, and really giving back to your home community. And these companies do that.
Yeah, precisely. And I think you hit the nail on the head. What has probably been the most impactful thing to happen to the world economy is the introduction of greening. And, at first it started out as this corporate or social responsibility concept from a corporate perspective, but really it's not. It's a personal responsibility. It's a human responsibility concept. And I think it has found its way into every single business that exists, to the point where I just saw a newsline this morning that California will be the first to roll out the ban on plastic bags. How will that impact business? It will impact business big time. It will impact the way that consumers shop. It will impact, because now you can go in and you can still buy the bags. You're not going to get them for free, but you can buy the bags. Now this is going to be, there's a ban on bags, and so no, you're not buying plastic bags because we don't have them. So
but then you've got to stop and think, because this starts rolling out different. So how does this affect the companies that made plastic bags?
Yep. How does it affect the companies that made plastic bags? But also, how does it affect the consumer shopping experience? Are they going to always have their bags? Will they have big tallies at their registers now because maybe someone came in and they forgot to bring a bag? And so instead of them getting $60 worth of groceries, they only walk out with what they can carry.
I would be in big trouble, Akia. Big trouble.
Well, yeah, and I can tell you that shopping for children, myself as a mother, shopping for children, my grocery shopping experience is never, less than $20.
Well, of course, I shop for the Pomeranian.
Yeah.
So, I hit I guess that's about $20 bucks too.
Yeah, but I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you this. Even if they're selling bags at the register, those eco-friendly bags at the register, and say those bags rise up to $4 or $5, I'm not buying a bag. So I'm going to, I'm going to get...
Those bags are pretty expensive.
It's going to be a grab and it's going to be a carry and go situation. And so I think this is going to have multiple... it's going to have a domino effect, and it's going to be great, and it's interesting to watch it because California is the first, right? But there are 49 other states and some territories and all that other great stuff. So I would imagine that we're going to see this sweep across the country, and it's going to change the shopping experience. It's going to change the way that consumers embrace that whole experience and shopping, just going to the grocery store. There are some people who really don't like it, but then there are some who kind of treat it like a ritual. I don't mind going grocery shopping, but if I know that, I have forgot my bags, I'm telling you, it's going to impact how much I buy. And so I'm really excited. And like you said, to just think about the plastic bag manufacturers. And in the cities where they operate, are they going to leave a hole in the economy? Can they switch over fast enough to produce eco-friendly bags? The answer is probably no, not fast enough.
Well, and I think that's a good, I think that's a good interview. I as your producer, I guess I'll go out and look for a plastic bag manufacturer and ask them what changes they're making.
Yeah.
And probably one in California would be a great place to start.
Yeah. Yeah, and so while the plastic bag manufacturers may run into some challenge, it will also spur some new activity for new entrepreneurs to create bags that are eco-friendly. So where we have some death, we'll also have some new life.
Well, and that is the way, that, as they say, that is the circle of life, my dear. The circle of life.
It's the American way, right?
Yes.
So we'll say, pun intended, one man's trash bag is another's treasure.
Well, Akia, we are amazing. We've gone from stepping outside the beltway to talking about
trash bags
and treasure, and I think the treasure in this show is going to be bringing the experiences of those companies who have built and grown over the years to new business people, to small business people who want to grow. Because I think we can all learn. There's not a day that goes by that you and I can't learn something new. And this is our way of giving back and helping people grow.
Yeah, totally. And again, it's a part of the Tuesday platform that I have in place. I'm so honored to be able to bring that and have brought that platform through my brand chat and iBrand chat, which is going into its third year. I'm excited about the work that I've been able to do. The Akia Garnett show was launched late last year, and so that added to it. And now KickFannie's Big Thinking is helping to further saturate the national marketplace.
We're happy that you're joining the KickFannie.com team, because it just is the way for us to continue growing. With over 1 million listeners a month and growing each and every month, I think this is very exciting that you're part of our family and we're part of yours now.
Absolutely.
And I'm looking for more things to come, and I'm glad to have you aboard, Akia.
Great. Thanks so much, Deb. Thank you. Listeners, for tuning in to this very first episode of Big Thinking with Akia Garnett. I'm honored to be on the KickFannie network. I know that there's going to be so many great things to come for KickFannie. I'm looking forward to watching the expansion. I'm looking forward to watching and sitting back and measuring the growth of KickFannie, because the work that you've already put in, Deb, is just amazing. It's very, very useful to small business owners and big business owners, and it's just a great way to continue making change. So thank you very much for listening. Tune in each Tuesday at 6 p.m. to KickFannie's Big Thinking. You can find out more at KickFannie.com. Take care, and we'll see you soon.
You've been listening to KickFannie's Big Thinking with Akia Garnett, a KickFannie production. Akia Garnett is a KickFannie.com contributor, and she's CEO for Brand Builder and a national columnist for Minority Business Entrepreneur magazine, a leading source in supplier diversity and inclusion. Be sure to join Akia for Tuesday Branding on social media when she brings news from across all platforms for small business owners and entrepreneurs all day, starting with the Akia Garnett Show at 10 a.m. Eastern and KickFannie's Big Thinking with Akia Garnett at 6 p.m. Eastern, ending with My Brand Chat on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern. See the full Tuesday lineup at KickFannie.com and KiaGarnett.com. And we'll see you next week on KickFannie's Big Thinking with Akia Garnett.